So our first drill will be our split stance good morning, and this will be targeting all those areas along the backs of our legs, our hamstrings, calves and glutes. You're going to start with your feet hip width distance apart. You're going to take your left foot a step back, but not too far, just about a foot's distance. As you can see, the fronts of my back toes are in line with the back of my front foot, my heel. From here, I'm holding most of the weight in my front foot. It's about 70% of the weight in my front foot, about 30% in my back foot. If you need to carry a bit more weight in your back foot, that's totally okay as well. But working towards more weight in the front foot. Right hand to your back, left hand to your belly, and the movement is going to be a hinge from your hips. You're going to send your hips back, keeping that weight in your front foot, and you're going to keep your back nice and flat. You're only going to come as far down as your back can stay flat. So at a certain point, your back will start to round and you will lose contact with your thumb. As you can see there, I've lost contact, my back is rounded. That's as far as you go. It might be all the way down here for you. It might be up here. That's totally okay. And we're going to do this for reps, 10 reps to be exact. So that's 1 rep and we'll go again. 2. Maintaining the weight in your front foot, keeping that front leg locked out nice and straight. 3. Lengthening down as you press your hips back, lengthening through the back of your front leg. Exploring for some sensation of stretch through all those areas that we're targeting. Hamstrings, calves, glutes. 9. 10. We're going to hold on the 10th one for 10 seconds. No wriggling around. Sitting within that stretch. 3, 2, 1. We come up and we do the other side. Left foot comes forward, right foot comes back, but not too far back. Feet stay hip width distance. Left hand to back, right hand to belly. And here we go. Hinging from our hips, weight in the front leg, spine nice and long, back nice and flat. Looking for that sensation of stretch. Maybe that means a little bit of discomfort for you, a little bit of tightness. Making sure we're not feeling any pain though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holding for 10 seconds. Sitting with it. Breathing nice and deeply. Relaxed for 3, 2, 1. Coming up. Our second stretch is going to be our quad wall stretch, targeting, as you probably guessed it, your quads, but also maybe hip flexors a little bit as well. To begin with, I'm going to place my knee down at the back. I'm going to step up into this lunge position. So my front foot is further forwards than my front knee, so this angle is quite open. My knee is going to be a little bit away from the wall this time. So usually a lot of people will drive their knee quite close into the wall, but we're going to be looking for a few more nuances here. So for that, we're going to want our knee to start a little bit further away from the wall. Maybe like 10 centimeters, a floorboard, half a floorboard. Depends how big your floorboards are, I guess. Cool. So what we really want to focus on here is our tucking of our tailbone in this position and our driving of our hips forward. So what that's going to look like, I'm not sure if you can see it there on the camera, is I'm tucking my tail, so flattening my lower back and driving my hips forward, so squeezing my glutes. In the position, it's going to be the glute of your back leg that is squeezing to drive your hips forward. The opposite of that would look like me poking my butt out, and it's quite a curved lumbar spine there. So if I come back into the position, I've got my back knee floorboards distance away from the wall. I'm up in my lunge position. And from here, I'm actually quite low, even though my chest is lifted, I'm quite low. And I'm tucking my tailbone and I'm driving my hips forward. Now here, this might be enough for you. That articulation of your tailbone might be quite a strong sensation through your quad muscles. If you need a little bit less, then all you're going to do is you're going to take your knee a little bit further away from the wall, taking a little bit of tension off your quads and allowing you to really find that articulation of your hips, pressing forwards as you tuck your tail. Likewise, if you need a little more, you just press your knee further in towards the wall, being sure that you're able to really flatten out your lower back, drive your hips forwards and tuck your tail. And simply from here, we're going to have a 30-second hold, starting from now. Breathing nice and slow, relaxing into the stretch, even though you've got that active element, that tuck of your tail, hips pressing forwards. All the while telling your body that it's okay to be here. This is comfortable. This is safe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we come out of the stretch. And we move to the other side. Right knee down this time. Left leg up in that lunge position. If this is too much for your hands and it's a little bit hard to get down here, you can just sit your hands up on blocks. That's totally fine. Tucking your tail, driving your hips forward. Now, if you do need a little more and your knee is all the way into the wall here, that's where you can start to find your way up. Making sure that you're not losing that tuck of your tail and your lower back is staying nice and flat. Holding for 30 seconds. Trying to sit within that sensation of stretch or discomfort or unfamiliarity, whatever it feels like to you, provided there's no pain there. Noticing if you're trying to wriggle around, aka trying to avoid the stretch. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. We come out of it again. Moving on to our upper body now, and primarily focusing on thoracic spine extension and opening up across the front of our chest and biceps there. Particularly useful if you spend a lot of time at a computer or at a desk, which is a huge part of our modern day culture. And I know I've been spending a lot of time on the computer myself lately, where we're continuously in that sort of flexed over, hunched, rounded spine position. This can really help counteract a lot of the problems that might come from that. There's going to be a couple of different options, a couple of variations. The first one will be where we're supporting weight through our hands and we're using the wall here. It's going to be our frog stretch. And the basic position for that is going to be hands a bit wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to be trying to turn our elbow creases nice and forwards, palms of our hands flat. We're going to step ourselves back, walk ourselves into the wall. I'm going to start to bring tops of our feet to the wall, feet together, shins to the wall. Then we're going to take our knees nice and wide apart, start to bring our thighs into our belly. Once we've got our thighs into our belly, we're going to start to pulse the center point of our chest, the middle of our sternum, through to the wall, and bring it back out again. We're going to do 10 reps of this. 2, 3. Arms locked straight. Elbow creases reaching forwards. 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to hold in for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To walk out. Simply untuck your toes, walk your legs down as you walk your hands out, and rest for a moment. Now the second variation will be pretty much the exact same stretch, but we're just going to reverse it, have our hands on the wall and have our knees on the floor. What that will look like is you're going to be sitting back on your heels, knees nice and wide apart. If you need to, if this is uncomfortable for you, there's lots of ways we can modify it. Perhaps you take like a towel or a blanket, place it behind the backs of your knees and sit down on that. That can really help if you're feeling a lot of pressure through your knees in this position. Aside from that, you're going to take your hands, going to place them on the wall, similar position, elbow creases turning up, arms locked nice and straight, belly to thighs, and then your chest is going to pulse through that center of your chest, your sternum, pulse through to the ground and up, through, up, through, up. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We do 10 and hold for 10 seconds. Keep bringing that middle of your chest down, extending, trying to open up through your thoracic spine there. Arms locked nice and straight. 3, 2, 1. Come back up again. And now we come to our final stretch, which will be our wall chest stretch. And you guessed it, targeting our chest, but also it can be very strong on like biceps, maybe forearms as well. To begin with, you're going to start standing feet hip width distance apart, parallel with your wall, and maybe about a small floorboards distance from the wall. You're going to take the arm that is closest to the wall, and you're going to reach it at a 45-degree angle from your body. So what do I mean by that? I mean, it's at about a 45-degree angle, not that, not that, that. And while it's up there, I'm pulling that arm down. So I'm this action here, actively using all these muscles that we're going to be stretching to try and pull that arm down the wall. I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to take a hold of my rib cage, holding on like that. And I'm going to do, for a rep, I'm going to pull that rib cage through and then let it go back. And we're going to do 10 reps of this. So I'm up to 3 now. 4, all that time, pulling your arm down the wall, trying to pull that rib cage a little bit further through. 7, 8, 9. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. Common theme there. Trying to keep the top of your bicep as close to the wall as possible will really intensify this stretch. 3, 2, 1. Coming back away from the wall. Shake it out. Other arm now. So I'll still face away from the camera just in case it gives you a slightly different view on a few of the things that we were doing before. Parallel with your wall. Arm closest to the wall goes back. Palm face down and at a 45-degree angle. Not here, not here, here. I'm trying to get my right armpit as close to the wall as I can here as I reach my hand through to my rib cage, and then I pull my rib cage through for a rep. That was 1, 2, 10 reps. 3, 4. Pull that arm down the wall. Armpit as close to the wall as you possibly can. 8, 9, a little bit further each time. 10, we're going to hold it here. Drag your arm down as hard as you can. It's only 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax.